Welcome, guys, back to the Watchlist Podcast, episode 12. This week we'll be talking about the new movie Hokum by Damian McCarthy, starring
Yes.
Adam Scott. Um, Horror movie. So if you love horror movies, I would say go to the theater to watch this. I think it's pretty scary. Came out
Yeah.
last Thursday. Um, so yeah, we'll talk about it all. I watched it. I got invited to an early screening of it, so I watched it a week and a half early. So I've it's been a while since I've seen it, or 2 weeks, right? Um, so yeah, I'm excited to finally talk about this because it's in my top three of the year so far. I loved it. It's way better than, in my opinion, it's better than Oddity. What do you say?
I
Do
like
you think it's
Oddity
better than
better
Oddity?
still. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I like Oddity. I'm a
Interesting.
big fan of I love Oddity. Like I think Oddity is so good. Um but you know, I Hokum's great and I could see it taking that spot. It's just kind of like Damian McCarthy just needs to keep making these movies is what it comes down to. Like he's so good at it. Like he's so
Yeah.
good at making these movies. He need like the whole time I was watching this I was like this guy needs to like do this forever. Like he needs to make 100 movies and I'll like every one of them. I think. Like I
Yeah.
just I would be shocked if he could do wrong for me. I still
We
need
need
to.
to watch Caveat.
Yeah,
I think we need to watch
we
that.
both have not
But
seen Caveat, his first movie. Um, but yeah, I definitely recommend Oddity to anyone who watches Hokum and really liked it, because Hokum's going to get a lot more, American popularity because it's playing in theaters and has Adam Scott in it. Um, but yeah, I mean, Hokum's a great time. I gave it a 3.5. It was almost a 4.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was scared
I
shitless.
also gave it three. Yeah, I also gave it 3.5, and I was scared shitless. It
Yeah,
was it was a very scary
yeah,
experience. Damian McCarthy is really good at creating tension in like prolonged moments. Like he's really good at
yeah.
keeping that tension, and then he gives you that good reward. Whereas like a lot of movies, like I'm not a big horror film fan, and a lot of that comes down to like the agenda of like jump scary movies where it's like just jump scares. But I think with Damian McCarthy, there's more substance to the jump scares because it like deserves that. It's like the tension is built up so high where you're already scared shitless, and then the jump
Hmm.
scare is almost like a release for you, that like that tension's over in that moment. And it's like, oh my gosh, what a great payoff. Whereas like other jump scare movies, the tension isn't as well dealt with, and then it's just there and it still
Hmm.
scares you, but
Yeah,
it doesn't feel rewarding. So I love Damien McCarthy for that. He's
yeah.
I hope he becomes like a household name in horror
He
in a
should.
couple in a
Yeah.
movie or two.
I mean, he doesn't have.
Like,
This is just his third movie, but I agree. Like
yeah.
he's definitely on that path. I think what you're kind of like. It's just like he's so good at constructing horror. Like he fully understands it, And like I agree. It's kind of like you're watching this and maybe you think of other movies. Like I was kind of thinking of Smile, um, even though I don't think those movies are like the worst or anything. I just really don't connect to them, and I think that's just because I don't find the jump scares to be kind of crafted very well, or or I just don't really fuck with the smile thing really. But like the
Yeah.
I was thinking of like other kind of modern, even American jump scare movies, right? Because I think that's its own subgenre of horror. Because horror, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say like most of horror is probably not jump scares in reality. Um,
Yeah.
and jump scare horror is kind of like this weird subgenre that's interesting and like often kind of, yeah, cheap. It feels kind of like, oh, you're just throwing that in and then we get over it. But it's like with
Yeah.
like Hokum, like some shit pops up on screen and that is like burned in my brain, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's some really well done jump scares. So yeah, the premise of the movie is
Yeah.
this Adam Scott plays a guy who's a famous writer, and he goes to this place where his parents, who have died, they had their honeymoon, and so he goes there to kind of like spread their ashes. Essentially, it's in like this random, very isolated hotel in Ireland. And I love this hotel. I love this hotel so much because I just love like a creepy haunted hotel vibe, right? Like that kind of like
Yeah.
old timey hotel with the bellboy in the bellboy uniform, and it's all like I love that he does that. Like
Yeah.
every time that bellboy's on screen, or there's a lot of kind of like old timey hotelness to the building, like the old elevator or like these bells in the hotel.
Yeah.
So it's already just a really fun location, kind of playground that we just kind of like get to play around with.
Yeah. I think I love how contained it is within that one
Mm-hmm.
location. Most of the movie takes place in that one location.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just such a good vibe. It's like, and I also just love Adam Scott's character. I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about. I love like towards the like in the beginning of the movie, he's like a complete asshole, right? And
100%, dude.
so
Like the
he's
worst.
like, but he plays it so well where it's just like, I don't know. There's like things that bug you about him and like things he says that are like no one would ever say. Like it's like, damn, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you really give
Well,
no fucks.
yeah.
But I have to talk about like the opening scene of the movie,
Yeah.
which like jarred me. Like when it goes into the opening scene. So uh, if you haven't seen the movie, from here on, it's gonna be like spoilers. Right now, I'm gonna talk about the opening scene, but like I'd rather you go into it kind of blind, um, because it kind of sets the tone differently. And I love the opening scene. Um, and I was like, wait a minute, am I in the wrong theater? Because it starts off in
Yeah.
like this desert thing, and it's like a science fiction drama thing,
Right.
and you have no context, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Am I in Hokum right now?
It
Because I at
looks
least knew the
totally
premise.
different.
It looks totally different, and then it cuts to him writing the novel, and immediately gets scary. Like immediately
Yeah.
he's in his room, and there's like a scary shadow
That's
in
a
the
really
in the
good. Yeah, we should.
in the
Yeah.
foreground.
Well, so
And it's so interesting, a way to start that movie. I was like, oh, to me it immediately unlocked to me that like Damian McCarthy is stepping up in scale, even though he's staying contained within throughout the whole movie. He's still contained within the hotel. It feels bigger in scale, epic wise,
because
where
of
it's
the
like, okay,
desert.
this is
Yeah.
obviously a step up from Oddity, because like he's doing this cool location thing. He's playing with genre super interestingly, and then he's also just keeping that tension throughout the whole time. So he's staying true to like the type of filmmaker he is, while finding interesting ways to like expand that idea into something more powerful and interesting theme wise, which I'll talk about later, which is my favorite thing about the movie. But yeah, what are you talking about for the first scene,
Yeah.
like the
So I
beginning?
mean, thematically, it's important to kind of know what the first scene is kind of going on. Where basically, like simply put, it's like a father and kid situation where he needs to break open this bottle, and so to do that, um like the kid's like turned around, he needs to like hit the kid on the head enough to like break the bottle, basically just has to like kill the kid. um
To open the bottle for the map, right? They're
right.
trying to find a map thing.
And so it's kind of taking on this, it's a very dark ending that he's writing to this, like the end of his like big trilogy that's famous of his book. And it kind of like, so when he's in the like throughout the whole movie, he's kind of wrapping up he's still kind of like writing the ending, and that's kind of the ending he's sitting with. And he even kind of tells that to Fiona, who's the bartender at the time, early in the movie. And she's just like, you're not gonna write that, like this is so dark, like, you know um and yeah, I think that plays a big role. And yeah, I think the first jump scare too is kind of like he like flashes the lamp towards like these like dark stairs, and then he puts down the light shining through, is it just looks so crazy. And it's he's so good at like subverting your like eye line, where you're looking. It almost feels like a magician, right? Like kind of like,
Yeah,
you go back to George Méliès, and kind of like using like the like film as like magic. And then he like pulls down the light, and there's a scary fucking thing above the light, and it totally like instantly, it's very quick, there's no
yeah,
time wasted. And you're already scared. Um,
I love throughout like the movie that like the jump scares are almost like POV style, where you're like he's like putting you in the shoes. Like he introduces the environment to you,
yes.
and then he puts you in the shoes of the character, which makes it more scary. And I
Yeah.
like what you're saying with the eyeline thing. Like you don't know where the fuck it's coming from, right?
Yeah,
Like it could be in the top left corner, it could be in the bottom right corner, and if you guess wrong, it's even more scary. Like it's like
yeah.
bizarre what he's able to do.
Yeah.
Like he's
Um,
so unpredictable, which is so cool, right? Because he uses that space and tension, right? Like sometimes he'll be really quick, like the first scene. Other times he'll just sit on a frame for a little bit, and then it comes, and you're like,
mhm.
"Holy fuck!"
Yeah,
Right? You like think it's gonna happen immediately, and then it doesn't,
yeah.
and you're like, you kind of let your guard down, and then it scares you,
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
"Okay,
He's
fuck,
kind of the
fuck me,
only,
man."
probably the only filmmaker I've seen in horror who can maybe do, like, it's a famous thing in horror where you know what's coming, you know the jump scare is coming, you know something bad is gonna happen, but he has mastered the way to like still scare you. Like it doesn't matter how much you know. Like it doesn't matter how aware
It's
you
almost
are.
like he's predicting what the viewer's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's starting you off with that quick jump scare, and then throughout the runtime, every jump scare is different in a really slightly interesting, different way, where it's like he knows what you are probably thinking. He's probably thinking this when he's writing it, right? He's probably thinking like, okay, right now maybe I stay on this a little longer, and then boom. It's just so crazy what he's able to do. But then after that, after the jump scare, he goes to the hotel, and immediately you could tell his attitude's just really, really poor, right? He just has a horrible attitude about life. And he's like really snobby too. Like the
Yeah.
first thing is like the guy who's like cleaning his car, and he's always quick to judge too, right? Like he says a line in the movie, I think it's in the trailer too. It's like there's just a lot of oddballs around here. Like they're very odd. And I'm like, bro, you're just as odd. You're very
Yeah.
strange too,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
And he has this thing where someone asks for his autograph and he just says no, like
yeah.
fuck
I
you,
was thinking
right?
about this because of Damian McCarthy being kind of like Irish, right? And this kind of, I think Irish, pretty sure.
Yeah,
And then it taking place in Ireland, and then he's finally kind of making this more, um, maybe like American movie, right? Like with an American actor, um, and it almost feels like his idea of kind of like this is a American guy, kind of a guest in this new land, right? Where these people live and know, and he's very rude and like kind of is not redeeming in any way really. He's just like horrible to everyone, and it's like, I mean, in a way, like, is that how he feels about like tourists coming in? I think there's
yeah.
something interesting about that. That I was thinking that the whole time because I it's fair. like I
It's
like
also like it's also like cultural differences, right? Like
yeah,
nothing that the people in the hotel are doing are like particularly weird. It might just be like a cultural difference,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like especially with like the old man, he's telling a scary story to the children,
right.
right? Maybe that's some, and also that seems really interesting because it's like it adds to the lore of like what ends up happening, but also the idea of like telling a scary story, like in America, I probably assume in Ireland that's not that crazy of a thing. It is scary and probably you shouldn't do that. But I like Adam Scott's response to that of like him
Mm,
acting high and mighty.
mm.
Like he
Yeah,
probably feels real good about telling him not to do that.
yeah.
You know what I
There's an
mean?
interesting layer to that of like like he's always quick to judge, right? Like even that, like that in general, right? Just in general, that's bad and like, a rude person. But then you take that in the context of he's in this place, this new place, and he doesn't take the time to try to acknowledge other ways of life. Like he's in a completely different place, and yet he's still quick to act like he knows best, right? Like he still
Yeah.
knows, what's right and what's wrong. That just adds such an interesting element to kind of his rudeness.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's such a dick. Like he is so like just
Yeah.
like I was just like, oh, I hate this guy.
I will say Adam Scott's really surprisingly really good in this role. Um and I'll talk about why more later because it deals with the end and like the themes of it. But there's also an interesting part to add to like Adam Scott's character of why he's such an asshole. Is like the people aren't particularly being rude to him either. Like the guy that's like checking him in is like being kind of nice, but Adam Scott's
Mm-hmm.
like annoyed that he had to like ring the bell too many times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's already annoyed, and he's like, "Hey, like welcome to the hotel. Like we have a Halloween or we have a costume party in a couple days. Just to let you know, it might be loud." And he goes, "Get me the furthest room from that." Right?
Yeah.
Like sure, like I agree. You would probably if you don't want to be at the party, you probably want to get the furthest room. But it's like the way that Adam
Yeah.
Scott says it.
Right.
It's like he has no idea of like what being nice is or like playing down
Politeness.
your actual
Yeah.
feelings to like
Right.
attune to other people's emotions, right? He
Right.
just doesn't have
Yeah.
that.
Especially like a work, like someone, a service worker, or like,
Yeah, he has done nothing wrong to you.
yeah, like he's letting you know, like he's helping you. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just
exactly.
kind of like it's almost like like it's so obviously horrible. And there's the biggest thing he does, I think, is like the bellboy is telling him like, oh, I'm a writer too, and he's like, oh, really? Is that your writer's uniform? And then he's like, oh no, this is just for money, but I write at home. I actually have this manuscript that I'd love you to read. I'm a huge fan. Da da da. And he's like burning a spoon on a candle as he's talking, and then as he like finishes, he just like burns his hand with the spoon, and then is like,
Dude, he's so rude
take
to
a
the bellboy
hint.
in that scene. The bellboy is really good in that scene too because he kind of plays like this wimp. It's like super, like overly
I think
sweet,
he's the best
and
performance.
you feel so bad for him, bro.
Like
Like you're like, fuck. Like
yeah, he's great in the movie. Um,
it's like one of those scenarios where it's like don't meet your heroes kind of thing, right? Like
yeah,
he has this guy as a hero standpoint, and then he meets him, and he's like a complete asshole, and he like can't wrap his head around that. To where he like looks on the brink of tears the whole conversation. But the conversation with Fiona is really interesting. Like you already touched on
mm-hmm,
that, where he's talking about the ending of his film. I love the atmosphere of that scene. Like you were talking about like the hotel,
mm-hmm,
right? The whole hotel vibe. It's like the late night hotel, the
mm-hmm.
drinks,
Yeah, it's kind of like The
talking to the
Shining
bartender.
almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like The Shining. I mean, it doesn't get to like the heights of the actual Shining scene. Like I'm not hot. I like Hokum better than The Shining. Hot take. But the Shining scene, I would say, is like that's the best scene in The Shining of when he's talking to the bartender because that's like insane acting. But it definitely has like that like calming vibe where it's
Yeah,
like late at night, you
there's
got like candles burning and it's like a conversation late at night, but it's always Adam Scott's character that makes it unbalanced, right? If he was like a nice guy, would have been
yeah.
a sweet scene, but it kind of comes off as like, okay, bro, like you don't got to be so rude. I actually thought they were gonna get romantically involved as well towards the beginning of the film. Like I was like, oh,
Interesting.
she's pretty. I was like, oh, she's pretty. Maybe like this is like a character arc where he like changes. Um,
Hmm. I didn't think that,
and it's all we
but
have to talk about an interesting thing with the spoon thing where he's like being super rude. Um,
hmm,
that night he goes up to his room and he hangs himself.
yeah, that's true. That's a big thing that happens.
So that's big because it like kind of immediately makes everything he's done a little more interesting,
Yeah, it's kind of like,
a
oh,
little
he's
more
doing this
nuanced.
because he has no hope left. Like there's no,
Yeah, like he hates himself too,
yeah,
probably, right? Like he just hates like that's like a big thing of like judging a book by its cover, right? At the beginning, you like hate his character, and then he does that, and it's not like you love him at this point, but it's just like, oh shit, like maybe
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like judged him wrong or whatever.
I mean,
But
kind of,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
There's definitely, it adds something like, oh, he's acting this way because this is like he's doing this like because he's literally dying today, and like, and also I think a big part of like even kind of before we kind of have an idea of like his parent, he had a really bad situation with his parents where his mom died young, and his dad was just because of her death treated him horribly his whole life, and so
He
we
was
kind
an
of,
alcoholic abusive, right?
yeah,
His father, and
yes,
then now he's like an alcoholic,
yeah,
and he's abusive verbally to these people.
yeah,
So it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely a big emphasis on the alcoholism. Like he's constantly drinking, always has his flask.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So there's that, and then that's a big part of the story. So yeah, then there's and then so after he hangs himself, Fiona, the bartender's the one who finds him, and then some time passes as he's like in a coma in the hospital. But also, I think there's an interesting switch up in his personality after that. He seems lighter, kind of maybe. I thought like, oh, is he gonna be like pissed that he's alive? Like I don't know how he's gonna act, and he seems very like thankful. Like he seemed, even though he's still, kind of himself, he seemed more like something changed.
I would say like relieved, you know,
Yeah,
like it's like a weight off his back, and it's like
yeah,
time passed. But that he goes back to the hotel to grab his things, and he finds out Fiona's missing, and that's where I feel like his character shifts a lot, because he immediately goes to like this caring, like I care
yeah,
about this scenario type of thing, right? Whereas like his older self, like he would be like, ah, fuck that shit, she was annoying,
right.
right? Something like that. Like now he cares because like she saved his life,
Yeah, he owes
and
her
now
now.
she's missing, and now he's like interested and is like trying to find this out, and he's almost like immediately like so involved in it, right? And he kind of gets pushed out of this scenario. Um, and all these people at the hotel were like telling him, "Just go home, bro. Just leave. Like this has nothing to do with you. Just go." Which I think cycles it into the second act, um, where it like turns him into like a full, like I don't know, like a full break in into the hotel with the older guy. The older guy's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a kind of yeah, that's an interesting Jerry. I think last big plot point we have to mention is that there's this honeymoon suite at the top of the hotel that is there's this big thing where it's like it's this hotel is haunted by a witch, and the owner managed to trap the witch in there, and so there's like a witch trapped in there, and no one has the key, or like one guy has the key by his side, and so no one's allowed to open the door, so that whole thing. And I love that. That's such a fun detail because it adds to the hotel. Like, what the fuck is up there? Like, we're going there. It's kind of
I like
like,
how I like how openly Fiona says that to him.
right.
Oh yeah, the hotel suite's haunted, by the way. Like
Right.
just like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't usually let your guests know that.
Yeah. That's true. I didn't even think about that really.
And his parents stayed in there, right? Like that's
Yes,
the thing too. Like his
because they were
parents
on
stayed
their
in that
honeymoon.
suite.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a to visualize it a little bit for you guys. I mean if you're here you've probably seen it, but like obviously there's an elevator, an individual elevator only to the honeymoon suite, and
Yeah.
it's caged up, right? It's caged up, so it kind of has this cool like red door, kind of like Shining.
Hmm.
So it's like this cool like thing you pass by, and it kind of has its like own aura surrounding it,
Yeah.
um, which gets interesting
I
for sure.
think. I think. Yeah. Thematically, to try to tie it in a little more, there's this thing that affected Adam Scott's character from his, the trauma with his parents. It's really like another trauma horror movie. Not as a bad thing. Yeah, it's a good thing.
No,
But
yeah,
right. So there's this kind of like trauma he's going through, and that is kind of affecting him as a person, like being this bad person all the time, and maybe writing a bleak ending to his story. And to kind of go back to where his parents honeymooned, and kind of, that's like the last place that his basically kind of like that was like right before his mom died. So so to go back to that place is kind of to face that trauma, I think, specifically the area of the honeymoon place at the top, right, which is kind of where
yeah,
um I think it's kind of this space as like, because when he's in that space, he's very much like kind of trapped, right? He's like forced to face this part of himself, and Um, yeah, just to tie that in. But so I think he goes in with Jerry, and then shit goes down. Really, you know.
Yeah, well, Jerry was like suspected to be the guy that took Fiona, right? And then he meets up with Jerry and is like very concerned. He's like, "Bro, like you need to like go and turn yourself in or whatever. Like I know you have her." And then he gives us a really cool detail of like he went to the hotel and he saw her and he knows that she's dead because there was a bell that rang and it was the honeymoon suites bell and he saw her face like pointing up at it. And he's like, I believe in ghosts,
Scary as
right?
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super scary. And so Adam Scott's like intrigued in this moment, right? He's like, okay, let's go find this shit out. I don't fully believe you, but like I want to see this stuff. And it's interesting that the honeymoon suite bell rang, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one has the key, right? Let's go up there. And so then they get in there and Jerry immediately just gets wiped out. That dude just
Right.
gets
Yeah.
hit and he gets taken and
He's
Adam
taken
Scott's
down.
all alone. And that's where the vibe changes. Adam Scott's alone, right? When you're with someone, the scary motive
Mm-hmm.
isn't as scary because you have someone to be scared
Well,
with.
even Jerry kind of says that because he's like, "I'm going up
Yeah, he
there.
said that.
Can you go with me, please? Like, I'm
Like
scared."
I was gonna go up there regardless, but
Yeah.
like it would be nicer if I had someone
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
because it's
I
not
love that
scary.
part because it's so like
And then he
real.
gets left alone, and then you're like, oh shit. And it's like really dark. Like the season has passed, so everyone's moved out. So there's no one in the hotel at this point, right? And he's just all alone, and he has to figure out what the fuck is going on. Um, yeah. So then he gets up to the honeymoon suite pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have trouble because
Yeah,
he
because
has the key.
he has. It's kind of like, oh, he has the key, and then yeah, there's this other character we kind of have to talk about
Yeah,
who's like,
yeah. It's the okay. Yeah, it's the father-in-law, or it's the son-in-law of the guy who owns the hotel,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And he's married to a woman, and he got Fiona pregnant,
yeah.
right?
So
And
there's
so
that element when he catches,
that kind of element,
yeah,
yeah. And he's the guy that takes Jerry out and like takes him away,
yeah, and
right?
then
Not knowing that Adam Scott's still there.
when
And
Adam
so
Scott is in the honeymoon suite, he's kind of like going around looking for Fiona off of what Jerry said. Like, the cops are already looking for Fiona, and Jerry's like, "Oh, I got a vision. Like Fiona's up here, looking for Fiona." And then the son-in-law, I forget his name, but the son-in-law goes up there, kind of like worried, like, "Oh, she's not up here. She's not up here." And then there's this dumbwaiter kind of, you know, thing in the to the honeymoon suite, and there's a button to it, and then he's about to press the button, and he's like, "Don't press stop! Like, don't press the button."
he's like, let's just go. Let's
Yeah,
just go. You've worked through everything.
and Adam
And you're like,
Scott's like,
okay,
"I'm
push
gonna
the
press the
fucking
button,"
button.
like, what the fuck? And then it comes up, and Fiona's just dead body is there, and it's like, holy shit, dude! I was shocked
The
that she
son-in-law,
died.
really?
Yeah,
I really had no preconceived thing of what was going on up there because like the honeymoon suite was so like I didn't know
right.
where this movie was
Like
going.
because of the
So
witch.
yeah, I had no clue what was going on. So I mean, it was cool that she was dead. It was very interesting. It's cooler
Yeah,
than it being
no,
like a survivor's tale.
it is really cool. It makes it like so much. It kind of is unexpected, and like maybe a more conventional route would have been, she's alive and he's trying to save her. Like that's the whole movie, or like that's
Like the
more
witch has her captured
right.
or
Exactly,
like holding her
something.
captive.
Yeah, something like
But it's
that.
cool that it's like the human is the bad person in this moment, right? It's not the witch.
Yeah,
It's
the
the
witch really
it's
isn't
the
really
human.
the main antagonist.
No, it's like this guy. And as soon as the dumbwaiter comes up and you see Fiona dead, he just dips out of there and locks him into the honeymoon
Yeah,
suite. Like
it's
he's
so
like, okay,
funny.
he's just gone.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and so that leaves Adam Scott not just stranded in the hotel, but stranded in the honeymoon suite. And that's when Damian McCarthy goes full balls to the wall, tension rising with all this creepy ass like noises and
yeah.
like sounds. There's a thing that hits the bell that's really
Yes,
it
like
hits like
it's like
this
a
bell ringer
jockey,
and
like a
it
Yeah.
happens every few minutes, and it's like scary because it'll be really
Oh my
quiet,
God.
and then boom, and you're like,
And it's
fuck,
so
and it's
loud.
like not, yeah, it's
Like
so
that
loud.
bell is so loud. Yeah. And yeah, so there's some, this room's just kind of scary as fuck. You know, there's such great tension in this room. Like, I think what I love about this movie that I haven't touched on yet is how much it feels like a video game. Like this movie is such a
Okay,
video
yeah,
game.
I can see that.
You're kind of like in these like areas and these levels and trapped and being there's just something about it that feels so video gamey to me and it's so fun.
Yeah,
And like yeah, so in this room my favorite the thing that okay, the best jump scare, at least the scariest one for me. I don't even know. It's probably not the best, but it's the scariest. Of just there's this bed with the curtains around it,
yeah,
and
the
then
famous one. It's
yeah,
already famous.
it should be. Oh my fucking god! When that dude, when that came up on my screen, I was just like, I was so uncomfortable. Like I've never like sat there. I was just pissed off. Like get this off my screen. Like I couldn't physically handle it. Like it got a physical reaction out of me. Like
Yeah,
actually get that thing out of here. Like I'm so glad it
yeah,
didn't. I was like, if this lasts for another like 2 seconds, I'm walking out of this theater. Like I can't deal with this.
yeah. It's
Like
scary.
that's how bad it affected me. Like cause what the hell was that? Like that was the freakiest looking thing.
Image is like important too because doesn't that relate to like a TV show that he watched as a kid?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And they like
During,
mentioned his name. Like I'm
well, I
trying
don't
to
think
think
that was
back.
real. Like I kind of took that as like
Oh, you think it was?
some like yeah, just like creep. But I think there's probably a level to like, I think that um when it's okay, let's just spoil it. So he shot his mom in the face. Um,
Yeah,
and I think this kind of happened when he was watching a show like this, right? That's kind of
yeah,
what I took it as, where
yeah,
then, he's creating these kind of traumatic memories of like, this thing on the screen, kind of like a Barney or something, right? Like
yeah. Like
something.
doesn't he call into the show and is like, I killed my mom, and then like the bunny thing like makes him feel bad, and they're all like laughing at him. So it's like
Yeah.
making him feel
I
like
didn't take
the
that as real.
no,
But
no. I'm not saying that's real, but
uh oh
that's like
yeah.
a moment of like why that visual thing is important
Right.
because it like relates to his trauma already, right? And
Right,
before
right.
that, like the witch is like chasing him around, right? And another important thing we haven't mentioned is the chalk. Fiona mentions the chalk of like because they have like a witch book, and it's like a chalk saves you from a witch, which is common
You
in like
draw a
horror tropes,
circle. Yeah. I mean,
right? That's common in
I
horror
thought of
tropes.
that
It's
SpongeBob
not new.
episode. I don't know. You know the SpongeBob
Yeah,
episode?
yeah. It's not a new concept, right? It's
Yeah.
like the chalk saves you, and he makes the chalk around the bed, and he's kind of sitting there, and that's when the jump scare happens. Um, so yeah, it's like staying away from the present trauma, but then the past trauma is haunting you. That's like how I viewed that scene, basically. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's like a lot of character dynamics. We could go into this movie scene by scene, but there's like character dynamics with like that son, or the son-in-law, like knowing that he's still in there, like hoping he's dead, hoping the witch will kill him because like I think it's
Right.
known they all know that the witch is there. Like the witch isn't like a facade anymore. Like
Yeah.
they all know that the witch is real. So he's just hoping that the witch has killed him at this point, you know? And there's all this like dynamic of like these people coming back, like Jerry coming back, right? That's a really tense scene in itself. Like where he's like ringing the bell when Jerry's leaving,
Yeah.
and then
That's a super
like
fun.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a really fun like play on things. He's like, "Fuck no." Like all this stuff, and he's like doing all these things to get the bell to ring, and he's doing it at the wrong moments, like it takes him too long.
Yeah. That's a great scene.
But then there's always this there's also a switch around, right, where Jerry knows, or so there's something that Jerry says earlier on in the film. He goes, "I know when something's wrong,"
Yeah.
right? And so like he comes back into the room, not even hearing the bell, and he goes,
Or it was
"I I hear something. I feel that there's something wrong,"
well, it was
right?
Fiona kind of like I think she did something that was like, "Oh, like I she did this thing because something felt off," and she told Jerry that. And I think Jerry was like, Fiona always said like, if something feels off, wasn't that it? I feel
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. And I
Yeah.
think like he also used that as an idea to even go back to the hotel in the first place where he saw Fiona's
Mm,
dead ghost or whatever, right? Like
yeah.
he
Right.
felt something was off, so he went there, and
Mm,
he felt something was off, and he comes back into the room and is like, "Yo, I feel that there's something wrong," and then he ends up getting up to to
oh,
the fucking honeymoon suite, and that scene is so insane. There's like a little crawl space where he like finds him, right? And it's almost like this relief of like, okay, he's saved. Adam Scott's saved from this
uh-huh.
spot,
Yeah. There's an
right?
opening.
And he's like, right here, right here. There's a crawl space. Opens it up, and then just gets blicked in the head with a fucking
Like a crossbow. That's
crossbow.
what I'm saying. Is like this movie feels like a video game. Like
I know.
there's
Like
this
it's
little
like, but
cross
also
crawl space and
I remember hearing there's something that Tarantino said, like with screenwriting, right? Where it's like if you're gonna use a gun to kill someone, make sure you see the gun like earlier on in the film, right?
right.
That crossbow is seen before.
Yeah.
So it's not like bizarre that all of a sudden he's getting shot in the head by a crossbow. Also, it's like unpredictable, right? You're not expecting Jerry to just get blinked up and die right
I
there,
know,
right?
because
And he
you
just
love
dies, and
Jerry.
you're like,
Like
oh,
Jerry's kind of this character that is misunderstood and
yeah.
uh, very charismatic and cool guy.
I love when movies kill these like main people, right? Like Fiona dies and
Yeah.
then Jerry dies.
It,
It's like it's not like a typical horror movie where everyone lives and they're all like traumatized, right?
hmm
Like that's how a lot of horror movies are, where they somehow all escape
The main,
through
yeah,
dumb decisions.
like this
But
character you love.
in this movie, they're making smart decisions and they all die. So it's like really interesting, like backdrop of like a typical horror movie and how it plays out. Um, so I find that so interesting, which makes Hokum like a great modern film, like just in general.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So then, I mean, then it kind of ends in this. There's a scene of Adam Scott kind of he's basically trying to he changes and tries to trap the son-in-law with the witch, and that's just kind of like how there's a funny scene where he's trying to like draw the circle around with the chalk around him. Like like because I was always thinking that like when he was drawing the circle around the bed, I was like, that's so stupid, just draw it around it, not I think it's fun as a movie, but I was just like logically like dumb decision making, but I was like, yeah, that's cool, it's around the bed because I love that bed with the curtains. But then he's doing it later with the chalk just around himself in this little circle, but he doesn't even get to finish it, and then the witch gets to him, which is kind of like, because at that point he starts to go like, I'm sorry, like it was an accident, and is kind of goes back to like the thing with his mom, and it's like so sad, and it's like, holy fuck. But yeah, I mean, that is kind of like the witch catching up to him, like this thing is that's haunting him catches up to
Yeah.
him, and but really he kind of gets out of there, and who doesn't is the son-in-law who just gets like
Oh, he
yanked.
gets like yanked into hell.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like kind of scary. Like imagine you being in that situation and
Hmm.
there's a witch. First of all, that's already scary.
Yeah.
And then you see like this doorway to hell that she's feeding her hell babies with, and like you're attached to this chain and you're getting dragged in. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that part reminded
That
me
has
of.
gotta be that's gotta be the scariest shit of all time.
I know it's like fun in that way, where like,
It
yeah, I
reminds me
think
of
you.
Suspiria.
I was thinking of. I just watched Silent Hill, so I was thinking of Silent Hill because it kind of
Oh,
like the all those creatures in the back, like, and it feels like a video. That's a video game too, and this it just feels like a video game to me, like especially that tunnel, right? Yeah, it's super fun.
well, he also lit the place on fire, right? So he
Yes,
lights the place on fire, and then he's fighting for
the
this,
son-in-law. Yeah.
fighting with the son-in-law. And his only choice was to go down, right? Like the only choice was to go down. The son-in-law. Like, why did the son-in-law go back down?
I think he had the key or something, or yeah, he had the key.
Yeah, yeah, he had the key because the gate was locked or
Right.
something like that,
Yes.
right? And he couldn't get down, anyways, so he's like, oh fuck the key, so he has to go down, and then Adam Scott was going down, right? He's like, I have the key, fuck you,
Yeah,
and he goes
yeah,
down the dumbwaiter, and then he's
yeah.
like, fuck, now I have to go.
Like
Um,
when he starts to go down there, I'm like, oh, what is he doing? Like, why is he going back down there? But
like
I'm
he has a
excited to
plan,
see like
and
what's his
it's
plan
cool
here.
because Adam Scott has a plan because he had already been down there, right? And he has the chalk, so he knows I just use the chalk, and he doesn't use the chalk,
Yeah.
right? Because he doesn't have chalk, so he's gonna get fucking captured. But then he gets
It's funny that he
captured.
doesn't finish the circle. I love that.
I know.
Like it's kind of
Yeah.
building pressure of him like drawing a little chalk circle around him.
Dude, he
And
like draws it so jaggedy too. And I'm
yeah.
like, bro, you're already gonna fuck it up.
But it's I feel like I
Um,
would do that though, low key. Like I feel like
no, I
if
would
I
be
had
so
that
scared.
pressure,
I
I
would be
couldn't
so
draw a
scared.
circle.
No, no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's
The and then he also has like a little pocket saw, right? That he saws himself free from the chain, and that was
mm,
seen earlier,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So Damian
so
McCarthy has all these cool setups from
I
earlier.
my biggest love with Damian McCarthy, and I really wanted to talk about this, so I guess we'll say it now, is it's my favorite thing in just films in general, and like I always like notice it, and it's always just like a like good filmmaking thing when I see it is when you're a filmmaker is able to utilize a bunch of different objects, and that's what I think like Damian McCarthy always does, and I think that's probably why I like Oddity a little better is because that movie is just literally about objects. But
Yeah.
you know, this movie does it too, like super well, and it's so interesting just utilizing all these different things, like this key that looks interesting, right? Or the bell, like this bell rings, or like a crossbow, or like these little things that feel like things in a video game that like you pick up off the floor, right? And you have to like or like just these little just things that add so much like texture and like life to this movie that I think a lot of movies need more of, is like things like that,
Yeah.
especially horror
Yeah.
movies that work so well. And that's why I love Damien McCarthy. He's just so good at that, and every time a new object pops up I'm like, that's cool, like this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love that he does that, um, for sure. And then I guess
And then he ends up escaping. He gets saved by the guy that checked him in, right? The guy that checked him in is the guy that saved him, or is that the son-in-law?
um
There's another worker at the place
is
that
it the
saved him.
bellboy that saves him?
No, 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 no. The bellboy visits him in the hospital
Right.
after, but there's two
Oh
guys that look
yes,
really
yeah,
similar.
yeah, right. The
The
guy,
guy that checked him
he's
in
kind of
and
like
the
a mean
son-in-law.
guy, right? Isn't it like
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's not the son-in-law. The son-in-law checked him in. It's like the mean guy that was there telling him to leave at the beginning. Like he comes back and he saves him
yes,
from the fire, right?
yeah. I guess it doesn't really
Yeah, so
matter.
he makes it out, and then he's in the hospital, and the bellboy comes, and it's like a sweet moment.
Yeah, it is.
But there is like a plot twist thing that happens,
Yeah,
which I think we
right.
should talk about, where he talks about like he was so mad at him for burning his hand with the spoon that he went up to his room and like spiked his flask with mushrooms. And it's funny because like throughout the entire movie, he's sipping on that flask every now and again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then it makes Adam Scott's character be like, did I hallucinate all this shit?
Well, Jerry says something earlier, which is like, ghosts and all these supernatural things are real, but you can only see them if your mind is open. Like if you're
Yeah, yeah,
closed-minded, you can't see them, which is it's kind of like the same way that processing trauma works, right? Which is like you can,
yeah.
guard yourself from it your whole life, but you'll never be able to fully like see and understand the situation if your mind's not open to it. And that's kind of like what this movie's about. Um, which is really good. Like it's really well done, I think. And then it's like fun in the moment when he's like, oh, but it's also like on like a logic if you're going in like real life level, right? It's like, oh, he just like trip that like hallucinate this whole thing? Like was any of
Yeah.
this like real?
Yeah,
Which is
because
funny.
like you don't like, does he take Jerry's word for it that mushrooms open up your mind to the ghosts, right? Because Jerry's kind of like ballistic himself, right? Like he could easily be like, okay, Jerry could easily be wrong in this scenario, right?
Right.
And then he could actually have hallucinated it, but I don't think it really matters. Like I think it's like a cool little thing that they put in at the end, but I don't think it genuinely matters.
I
I think the story itself is
I kind of don't think it works
weighted enough.
as like a real like in world kind of thing. Like I think it doesn't work for me, but I think it works on a thematic level, kind of what I just said. Like that's
Yeah.
what makes it work, and like that's what makes it interesting. Where like I think it still work. Like it doesn't ruin. It doesn't take anything out of it for
Yeah.
me. Whereas if its sole purpose was to be like, oh, it was all a dream sort of thing, I think I would be like, all right, I don't know how I feel about that. Um,
Yeah.
but I think it has that other layer. Even like these things are really well done. Like we keep saying, like even the flask, right? You're talking about like, he keeps drinking from the flask, and that's him. You know, that it's like, oh, it's laced, and so he keeps drinking from it. It's funny, but it's also like, oh, but he's an alcoholic too, and that's why he's doing that, is because
Yeah.
these things tie in together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the ending, he's in the hospital bed. And he's with the bellboy, and the bellboy's like, "Can you read my manuscript?" And he's like, "Don't you think I've been through enough?" This is like
Yeah.
funny. He kind of says as a joke, and he's like, "All right, yeah, you can bring it in." And he's like, "Sweet." Um, and then he is right, and then he's kind of like goes back to finishing his book, and it bookends the beginning, and cuts back to the desert. Always love a bookend.
Yeah.
Yeah, where switches, he rewrites that kind of ending, and instead of this bleak ending, it's kind of this ending where now the man asks the little kid to hit him on the head instead, and the kid kind of throws away the bottle, and they just hug, and that's how it ends.
And then it does this beautiful sand shot, like of the sand, and the
Yeah,
sand's
and the
blowing
bottles in
on
the
the thing.
foreground.
And I'm like, oh yes, this is so cool. And then I think that brings me to like the themes of the movie, which makes it so deep to me. Like I think it's a really well made movie as it is. But I think the in that end scene it like clicked for me, especially when he's talking about his mother in the basement, like towards the end, where he's like kind of like crying and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
it was just an accident. And then his like mom comes in from the scene to where she was shot, and she like comes in and goes over his shoulder and is like, it's okay. And I'm like, holy shit, this is so beautiful. It's like the idea of like a suicidal man who's an alcoholic is finding solace throughout this present trauma experience with a witch, and like trying to find a dead body. Like, and like you said, it feels like a video game. Like it feels like a great character arc for him. And it's like the super small scale, but I think it's big scale theme wise. Like it's doing so much with its themes, and it's deep, and it's really depressing and scary, and it's like, whoa. A lot of horror movies don't have depth like that. Like a lot of horror movies stick with the depth of like redemption or revenge or survival, and a lot of them play like quirky roles. And this one like actually tackles like a theme that a lot of like regular dramatic movies do,
I
but it
disagree.
plays them both
I
so
think
well.
horror movies do that a lot, but I'm a
No,
big horror
I
fan.
agree. I agree, but like I'm saying like dumbass slashers, like you think of
Or jump
like
scare movies, you could say, because jump scare
yeah.
movies are often kind of like the.
I mean Terrifier, what themes does Terrifier have?
I mean,
You
some
know what I
people on
mean?
Twitter would,
I
would
mean, I like the
respond to
second
that.
Terrifier, but like it's just like some of those movies just feel like they're just playing a game, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And this one is like this is the game, you know?
Mm,
It's like the game of life, which is super cool. So yeah, I loved Hokum. It was a great theater experience. I had a guy
yeah.
screaming by my side. He
I
was
I did it.
squealing.
I think I was probably like the most scared of the theater is what I felt. Um, I
It
don't know
was
if I
scary as
screamed,
fuck.
but yeah, really scary. I
I
also
just like
love.
jumped all the time.
People don't love this movie, and I wanted to kind of talk about this too. I saw someone say like it doesn't like it's not like it's taking itself too seriously, or it's kind of like not. I think they were kind of like upset about how it wasn't like lighthearted at all, or like it kind of. I want to get the exact words, but I forget. But they're basically kind of saying something where like this movie wasn't playing into like the fun aspects of it. Like it wasn't trying to be fun. It was like just trying to go into like on a level of um like I don't know, the way they were said it was like, oh, they wanted more like obvious jokes or something like that, or like kind of more of a like Project Hail Mary, because it's recent. I always am thinking back to of like how that's just a like a sci-fi movie that's like, you could say it's a sci-fi movie, but it's really taking nothing serious and is able to be playful the whole time, right? Where like I think that's kind of the, I just don't think people are having fun with this movie because it's not that, and it's like a real movie maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Do they want the same fucking horror movie every year? Like
I don't know.
like I'm thinking when you say that, I'm thinking Death of a Unicorn,
I haven't seen that.
right?
But
Like Death of a Unicorn is like trying to be way too redonkulous about the eat this.
mm,
Okay, first of all, I hate eat the rich movies. They're always done really weird.
yeah.
But it's like Death of a Unicorn is like eat the rich movie, and it's like trying to have fun and making fun of these rich people and like all this stuff, which is good and fine, but there's like no substance to that. Where it's like, okay, Hokum has substance to this real story and these real characters, and you don't like it because you're not laughing. That
Right.
sounds ridiculous
Well, I
to me.
also think it's like it's not effective when you make it, if when you don't take it serious. I mean, we talked about that a lot with Project Hail Mary, but like this movie is so effective on so many levels, and it is funny. Like there's a lot of funny parts, but it's not funny because it's telling you it's funny. It's funny because the situation is so bizarre that all you can do is laugh. And it's,
Again, it's not spoon feeding you
yeah.
like what it's doing. Like it's I think this is a movie that like has lingered from the theater. Like I haven't thought about Project Hail Mary rather than like
Yeah.
us just bringing it up on the podcast. That never
Right.
just comes up in my mind. I'm like, wow, Project Hail Mary. Wow, there's actually things I actually liked about it I didn't like about it. Hokum, like even having this conversation, it's like I'm realizing how smart it is as we talk about it. It's like, man, it's like endlessly. It's fun in that regard. I think fun, you can have fun in different ways,
Right,
right?
exactly. I like
You
people
can have fun
also,
dissecting movies.
a lot of
It doesn't have to
people,
be like fun.
right. Yeah. I like it being interesting is fun for me. Like a lot of people will tell me like, is it is it ruin it analyzing movies? Like does that take the fun out of it? And I used to like not know how to answer that for so long, because I think it's kind of like a valid question and I could see how people could think that, but like I thought about it, I'm just like, I think it's so much more fun for me.
Yeah,
You know, at least for
yeah,
my, I can only speak for my own experience, but I'm like, I have so much more fun when I can like think about it and I'm like realizing things, right?
I agree.
Like, and I'm like that, like, maybe knowing both sides of like, you know, I used to watch movies like without thinking, and like the amount of fun I had then versus like now, like, oh, I'm having way more fun now. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm, yeah, I get this, or
I'm also realizing like movies where I can't analyze it as much. Like I just don't like those movies.
yeah,
Like they might be the traditional
yeah,
fun
I
like people are
agree.
hoping for, but I can't analyze it enough to
Yeah,
where it's just like what do I gain from this? It's like a fun movie, sure. It's like taking a shot, right? It's like okay, there's that. Like boom, you got your shot, move on with your day. I like the movies that linger and you're able to like analyze and it's like interesting and
yeah.
cool.
I mean,
So
and
yeah.
that's not saying like at least for me, like there's movies that maybe are not trying to do something Holcomb's doing, right? You know, with themes of trauma, and are just trying to like are maybe not, that's not maybe like as big of a of a purpose, and that are just kind of like trying to be more on the entertainment side. And like I think if done well, like that can be just as interesting as analyzing something like if it's like
Think about think
stylized.
about Thanksgiving. I think about Thanksgiving when you say that,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
Thanksgiving's
great example.
like a fun movie, but it's like interesting, like the
Super
way that
fun.
Eli Roth is
Yeah,
making
it's
that movie.
structured really
It's like
well.
cool. It's like cool. So it's like still fun to analyze because it's still fun, but you're able to
Yes.
analyze different aspects where it's not
Yeah.
like might not be the theme, but it might be like the structure or the shots or the acting. Like he's playing into
Yeah.
stereotypes purposely and then contradicting that. It's like
Right.
cool.
Even
I
with
think Thanksgiving.
Hokum, like if we're just talking about like, oh, a jump scare happens, right? And we're talking about like why that jump scare works so well, it's like because it's well done, like it's good, right? And like
Yeah.
that could be applied to like any like movie that's trying to be entertaining, and it could still work really. It could still be a great movie because it's doing things well. And like I think people think there's only one side of it, where there's like a smart movie that's like, oh, super like, like pretentious whatever, that's what, that they throw that away, or there's like a dumb fun movie. And I think like that it's just doesn't, it's not true. Like these things don't have to exist totally separate. And like I think that, movies can be entertaining, like maybe even purely entertaining, and be good. Like these movies can be good. Like I think of like Send
Yeah.
Help recently, where it's like that movie's super entertaining and it's good. Like it's a good
Yeah.
movie that I think like everyone would enjoy. Like I can imagine
Yeah.
someone coming away from that like
Yeah.
fuck that was the worst movie, whatever.
Yeah.
Um yeah, all right. That was a little tangent. But
It's a
yeah.
good tangent. But yeah, that's our Hokum review. Let us know what you think about the movie. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? How scared did you get? Um, yeah, go see it in theaters if you haven't seen it. If you got spoiled about this movie and you want to see it visually, go to the theaters to watch it. Support. I'm always a big theater guy. Like go to the theaters. Like it's it's a good time. It's good to like watch movies in a crowd of people. So go do that. We're gonna move on to what we watched last week. You want to go first, Luke?
Mine's super quick, I know. I don't have it pulled up. But I was so busy. Like I've been crazy busy. Um so it'll be quick. I watched a lot of shorts just kind of like through studying. I'll talk about I watched Paul Clipson, who's like a San Francisco filmmaker, which is cool because I'm from like the Bay Area, and he's an experimental filmmaker and made this 11-minute short film, Made of Air, which I just think everyone should go watch. It's so beautiful. I found it really inspiring, really interesting images. If you're curious about experimental film, I think it's like a pretty good gateway into it, even though it's 11 minutes might feel a little long to someone just getting into that. Um, it came out in 2014, so it's recent.
Where did you watch it?
I think it's on YouTube. I believe that's where I
Okay.
watched it. Yeah, just Google it. Yeah, really fantastic. I watched Stella Dallas for Eli's recommendation. I watched Hokum in the theaters. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I
I
watched
saw you
that.
log that, and I was like, "What made you watch
Yeah,
this?"
yeah. So I prepared to explain this on the podcast. Sometimes I just don't like. I don't really know what to watch, or maybe don't care, and I'm like going through like Criterion Channel or something, and I'm just like, I don't know, like nothing's really like sticking to me. Let me just like shuffle my watch list. And so I'll just like shuffle it and be like, okay, let me watch it, because I really hated this movie. Um, yeah, I really didn't like this movie, but not that it's all bad, and like people really love it. Like it has a 3.7 average rating, and
Wait,
I don't
whoa,
think anyone has it
really?
rated lower than like 2.5, and
There's
that's
no.
one person that I follow. So pretty much everyone likes this movie.
Oh, I did not know it was that liked.
Yeah, it it just feels like that like kind of random movie you'd see on Netflix in middle school and like press play. Um, yeah, so I just kind of shuffled it. I was like, sure. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. It's a satire, like very like comedy horror, and that thing is just like, yeah, you got to do that good. And um I think by like minute 30 of this movie, I'm so done. Like it just got so boring for me. Or like it's not even this, like there's some things about it which are like it's not totally like slop. I mean, sort of, right? Like it's there are themes in this movie that you could talk about, and I don't think they're I don't agree with some, and I don't like some, or I don't think it's like it's very well done, and then just like a lot of the comedy is just not funny to me. I will say Dale, played by Tyler Labine, is like a charismatic guy, and he kind of holds this movie together. Um, but it was just like not enough. And this movie's, even though it's like 80 minutes or something, it's like 89 minutes, and it just felt like so long. And then funny contrast right after that, I did a triple feature last night to try to make up for this like terrible week, because I just had some time that I thought I deserved this. um, I watched Wojciech, which is a Werner Herzog movie, that he made like five. He went into production like 5 days after wrapping his Nosferatu movie. And people hate this movie. Like, that's kind of what I went into it thinking, is like seeing like 1 star, 2 star, like this felt like the longest movie ever. um I love this movie. Like, I was like super into it, which is like, it's 82 minutes, so it's also quick. um it's about this kind of soldier played by Klaus Kinski, who, if you don't know who that is, go watch a YouTube video about him. um he's this like soldier who has this like kind of bastard son with this woman, who he's basically uh working as a soldier, like he's like shaving, he's like kind of a barber for like his general, and then he's also kind of like a guinea pig guy for this doctor, and just kind of like trying to get money to give to the woman raising the kid. And he definitely has feelings for the woman, and they sort of have a relationship going, but she is maybe she's kind of like, she quickly is established as like being into other guys, like soldiers, and then she starts a relationship with one of the soldiers. And this just kind of adds to the breaking down of Klaus Kinski, who plays the main character. He just starts to like break down and just like goes crazy. I mentioned he's like this guinea pig for experiments. This experiment that this doctor's running on him is that he's only eating peas. Like, that's his only, he's eating like straight peas for like months, and like that's it. And that's kind of like it's treated as something that's meant for him to go crazy. But yeah, I mean, this movie, there's also a lot of like people speaking in like poet, like almost like poetry and stories, and like just doing that in the middle of the movie. And it's very, very bleak, and kind of talking about like, the world as like this evil thing. And I think it's super interesting. It has also one of my favorite like opening title scenes. Like, the titles are just going, and then it's Klaus Kinski as a soldier just being ridiculous. Yeah, I love that movie so much. Then I watched El Cohen, which is a James Benning movie. I watched this because I was going to a screening of Eight Bridges last night, and then it got canceled. And so I came home like sad because I wanted to watch a James Benning movie. So I decided to put this on, and it's amazing. Hard to explain James Benning to people who don't know him. He's definitely like a pioneer for kind of like structuralist cinema. I can't really explain all that right now. Basically, this movie's like one static shot, and that's the whole film, and it's 50 minutes long. And he basically documents this solar eclipse. He's in Oregon on like a farm, and there's a solar eclipse. So I think you're on this farm for a while, and then the solar eclipse happens, and it just looks fucking crazy. And you're like, what the like, this is crazy. And then it kind of like goes away, and then a Leonard Cohen song starts playing, and it's like really beautiful, and kind of like, his films are very contemplative. Like, they're kind of meant to make you contemplate things. And throwing a song by Leonard Cohen and this kind of song is interesting. And yeah, it's great. But yeah, that's like all I watched this week, because again, busy week.
Yeah. Well, I watched a shit ton.
Yeah.
I think I watched 20 movies, so I'll try and be
Oh my
quick.
god.
So yeah, I watched Roommates on Netflix, new 2026 movie with
Oh
Adam
yes, the
Sandler's
Adam
daughter.
Sandler like nepotism movie.
Yeah. It's actually like it's not horrible. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's like fun in moments, but it's just so cliche and it's like feels like I've seen it before. If you like this movie, Do Revenge is a lot better on Netflix. I think Do Revenge is actually like a smart movie when it comes to that stuff, and I think yeah, I think Do Revenge is better. Nothing really excited me. There's like funny moments, and it's just like trying way too hard to be really dramatic. And then I followed it, followed it with another movie on Netflix called Him, Jordan
Oh
Peele produced movie,
yeah, him. I
and
watched that.
I think I liked it less than Roommates. Honestly, Him is really bad.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't like it at all. It's like not doing anything, and especially that ending. Holy cow, that ending is so garbage.
Yeah.
Like it's like
It's
what are we doing?
terrible.
Like this is what we were leading to,
I
and it's
know.
like Wyan's performance is like so weird, and I don't like it at all. I don't know. So then I had to watch something good, and so I put on a I think top three filmmaker for me. I put on a Hitchcock. I love
Oh
Hitchcock. I
yeah.
think Hitchcock is the only director I think I've ever seen who doesn't have a bad movie. I think every single movie from him is a 3.5 or above, which is the only director I've ever seen that does that. Um, and so yeah, To Catch a Thief is like really good Hitchcock. It's like he's doing great stuff with the colors. It takes place in like an Italian Riviera, and it's like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful landscapes and cities and costumes. And Cary Grant is maybe my favorite Cary Grant performance, and Grace Kelly is gorgeous. There's some gorgeous lighting. It reminds me of Vertigo. Um, it's just it's like it's like Vertigo, but like more fun, but just not as deep. Uh, it's just about like a it's about a guy that is like a jewel thief, and then there's another jewel thief that's like copying him, and the police are like going after him for that, and so he's going after a jewel thief that copied his own ways to like clear his name.
That's
And
fun.
in the moment, he's falling in love with the American Grace Kelly, who's gorgeous. And she plays a really cool character. And then I went to the theaters to go watch Boys Go to Jupiter. It's surprising it took this long to actually get to a theater near me. I know it played at Austin Film Society like late last year. I don't really go to Austin Film Society. I want to start going because they play a lot of like cool new releases that are like really niche. But Boys Go to Jupiter, it's a 2024 animated film, and it's an animated film. It's honestly, out of everything I watched this week, it's the movie that's lingered the most. It's bizarrely funny. Like I haven't laughed this hard in a long time, and the animation's so unique and strange. It's like about a boy that's like a Uber Eats driver. It's like about a boy that's an Uber Eats driver, but he does it on a Segway, and then he's like delivering, and he has all these like interesting interactions with these weird ass people, and then he gets like involved with this alien species that look like worms and they don't speak, and then you find out that the alien worms are like doing a Zoom call to the galaxy, and they're there in Florida to review the Floridan food, and they're doing like the aliens are doing like a review of the of the food. It's like this is what I've eaten this week, guys, and it's all these aliens in the galaxy. Like, wow, this is so interesting. And shut up, be quiet. I can't hear what he's saying, and all this stuff. And then he's like, the best way to explain what I'm eating is through a song. And then a piano starts playing, and it's like this montage of just like all this food that he's eaten, and it's like in space, and the aliens is floating, and it's singing, but it's singing in like a language you can't understand that's super weird, but then it has subtitles. It's like the most bizarrely funny movie ever. I think if I rewatch it, I'll love it a lot more just because like it's like very shallow. But man, is that movie funny. I would suggest you go watch that because it's so cool. And then I watched Hong Sang-soo's Claire's Camera, um, with Isabella Huppert.
Oh.
And yeah, it's my least favorite Hong Sang-soo. I think it's like very void of a lot of things like that I'm used to with Hong Sang-soo, like doing the stuff. It just didn't click with me. Um, it's really short. It's like 60 minutes. Um, yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. I don't think visually that's doing much crazy. It just feels like very bland compared to like other Hong Sang-soos I've watched. So I was a little disappointed. And then to combat that, I watched Claire's Camera and then I watched Claire's Knee by Eric Romer right after because I'm getting into Eric Romer.
Mm-hmm.
And man, is Claire's Knee really good. Claire's Knee is, oh my gosh, this movie is insanely good. It's a touchy subject because it's about a pedophile. Like it's about a guy that's in love with like an older man that's in love with a 16-year-old girl,
Mm-hmm.
and they like even kiss in the movie and the stuff, and then he likes her sister better and is like obsessed with like caressing her knee. It's like this whole thing. But I love Eric Romer's dialogue. It's so cool. And then like it's right next it's like summertime and it's beautiful vibes and it's right next to this water and you know the actor. It's John Cloud Briali. He's in the 400 Blows, Cleo from 5 to 7, A Woman is a Woman, Elevator to the Gallows. Like he's a great actor, but I didn't recognize him because he has a full face of beard and he's older and
Oh,
has
really?
grayish hair. And I was like, wait a minute, this guy looks kind of similar. So I went on Letterboxd. I was like, no way, it's this guy. He is so good in it. Like the outfits that they're wearing and they're playing tennis. It's just like a great vibe. It's like a great summer movie. I love Eric Romero's dialogue's insane. And then I did a Rebel Moon on the same day. I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
both Rebel Moons and I watched the extended versions. Um, Very interesting stuff going on visually. I do think it's not like the greatest thing ever. I think they're chill. I like the first one more actually.
Mm.
I know it's contrary to you liking the second one more. I like the first one more because I like the containment at the beginning of like the thing and then like the meeting all the other people and getting them together and I like the battle more than the second one. But they're both like visually interesting, which is cool. My biggest gripe on it though is that there's like jarring images that I loved. Especially in the first one, there's an image with her plowing a field and then it's like
Mm-hmm.
the sky is beautiful, but then throughout the rest of the movie a lot of it looks pretty gray compared to that. I think if the movies were like visually stimulating like that all the time. Like I know Zack Snyder's capable of doing some crazy stuff like that with CGI or whatever, like or green screens. I know they used huge green screens for this movie, but like if it was more visually intact the whole time, I think it would be like an all-timer science fiction movie to me. It's just it has those great images, but it's not there as much as I'd like to because a lot of the movie feels gray and it's like just doing basic stuff. Like sure, there's cool stuff going on,
Yeah, I
but it's not
agree.
like
I mean, there's like,
whoa.
yeah, there's stuff where they're just like talking, and it's like there's a lot of like shallow focus, and it's just like, all right, let's get out of here, and it gets out of there, and I'm like, okay, we're back. And then it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
That's kind of
there's
how
a
it
lot of
is.
like back and forth,
Yeah,
good,
for sure.
bad, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I watched Jacques Rivette's Paris Belongs to Us. I don't know. This movie's pretty fucking boring. Doesn't really have. It actually captivated my attention really early on, and I'm getting into Rivette a lot. Like Celine and Julie Go Boating and Le Pont du Nord, I've loved, and this one just was his debut feature. I think it came out a year before Breathless, or maybe a year after Breathless, around the same time that him and Godard, because they're friends, were getting into it, and it just doesn't feel as experimental as his other ones. Is like he's trying to be too Hollywood, and it like comes off weird. He has a great experimental work at the end of the movie where he goes into like this silent film clip of like 2 minutes of the Tower of Babel, and it's like bizarrely cool. I'm like,
Mm.
what the fuck is this visually? It's like beautiful all these people, and then they're looking up at the Tower of Babel, and you see it being built, and then you see the heavens. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. I wish more of the movie was doing interesting stuff like that. So, eh. And then I watched Jerry Lewis's The Nutty Professor, which is so fun. It's his most like um, Hollywood movie. Like it's his most like basic plot line of like a professor falling in love with his student, and then like he's ugly and weird, like how Jerry Lewis is. I know you've have you seen a Jerry Lewis movie?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I,
But
I, I
Jerry
almost
Lewis is
watched
like,
The Nutty Professor that one time, but
but he's really quirky and weird all the time. He does all this interesting stuff with his face, and then he takes this potion that he makes because he's a science professor, and takes this potion to make him look super handsome. So he's super suave, and like the girl's falling in love with him, and he's going back and forth. Like sometimes the potion wears off, and his old voice comes back. Like just dips out of there. So it's like a cool power dynamic. And then I watched Happiness, which is Luke recommended me, and then I watched Gerald's Game, Mike Flanagan movie. Um, like also an eclipse movie. There's a about an eclipse. There's really interesting stuff going on here. The ending is just super strange. Like what the fuck? Um,
right. I do vaguely remember that.
yeah, a lot of people hate the ending. And then I rewatched. I saw a clip on Instagram of a girl reacting to the elevator scene of The Departed. I was like, man, The Departed. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking watch it. So I rewatched The Departed for the third time. I think it's Scorsese's most rewatchable movie, actually. Like it's just so entertaining the whole time, and it's like so good. And that I love the Boston accents and Jack Nicholson's character Strange. And this time I realized it's more visually interesting than a lot of Scorsese's I've seen. Like there's really interesting stuff going on editing wise. He's moving the camera in really weird ways. That's almost way too obvious, but it's like it works. And I like the power dynamics, and the ending is so cool. Like just if you haven't seen that movie, like you live under a rock because it's like one of the most popular movies of all time, right? And it's what got Scorsese the directing
Yeah, he
Oscar,
finally
right?
won.
So he finally won it for The Departed, and I love, I love Mark Wahlberg's character. And then I rewatched The Devil Wears Prada, the original. I think it's like basic 2000s comedy. It's like a rom com without the romance, really. And so it's just like whatever. And then I watched Devil Wears Prada 2 in the theaters, and it blew my expectations out of the water. It's so good. The music's super good. There's like cool cameos from celebrities. So yeah, that's what I watched this week. I'm like grinding movies while also I'm working a lot too. So I somehow find the time to watch these movies for sure. So yeah, do you want to get into Stella Dallas? I recommended you Stella Dallas by King
Yes.
Vidor or King Vidor, and yeah, what'd you
Yeah,
think, bro?
this movie's crazy. It's so crazy. It's like so weird. Like it's honestly, I did not expect it to be so like I was just kind of like imagine trying to sell this movie, or you know what I mean? It's one of those movies you can't really describe because the plot, like on a plot level, it's just like strange. Um Basically it's kind of about a a woman who really loves this, like it has a crush on this guy who's kind of like more high class, wealthier, works in an office at the mill. And I really love the detail of kind of the woman played by Barbara Stanwyck. Very important to mention that. um
Yeah.
she she goes and to like as her move to making her move on him, pretends to bring sandwiches for her brother at the place he works. Her brother does work there, but just she doesn't care about her brother. She wants them, and so she, pretends to do that, and he kind of like he kind of like he's like, oh, come in, like, oh, I don't know, uh, trying to ask for him, and she kind of just says these things like, oh, she's kind of like making these things about how she's like a good cook, and like um he's like, oh, let's get a drink for this. They start eating like his lunch together, and then like they grab some glasses, and she picks up the glass. She's like, oh, these need to be shiny. I can't drink out of a glass that's not shiny. Like doing these little things as like trying to get his attention. um and then like they get married pretty quickly. I guess how like old timey stuff is like, oh, you meet him, you get married the next day. It's kind of like how a
Yeah.
lot of these old movies feel. And they have a kid, and then you know she kind of starts to post having a kid go into this kind of different stage where she's no longer really interested in him. um and he's kind of like trying to, I don't know. They have such a weird dynamic. It's like really hard to describe, but they have this kid, and it kind of changes things. And so the husband moves to New York for this job, and she's like, I'm not moving to New York. I'm staying here. And so she kind of stays with the kid. He's in New York, and that's kind of like the whole movie, right? Is like they're not really together, and it's weird because it's like it's strange, as like it kind of treats this like a divorced parents movie is how it really feels, right? And this kid
Yep.
is growing up with divorced parents, or like she goes to her dad's house. She's at her mom's house, but she goes visits her dad, on the weekend or something. But they're married, and then she also kind of is. I don't even know if you would say flirtatious with other men, but because I wouldn't exactly say that, but definitely hang out with other men, which is, you have to think about the time period is a lot stranger. Um, so there's one guy specifically, Ed Munn, who's a really funny actor. Um, and yeah, he's kind of like the man of the house for the kid. And the father eventually like is trying to make it work, and is like, will come back, and Ed Munn will be there, and he's like, what the hell? Like, this is weird. And eventually he kind of moves on and gets with, this other girl from his past, in New York, and who has a kid. And there's just this interesting kind of like dynamic. There's just such interesting dynamics with the kid, and how the kid feels about the situation, and how the kid's moving. And maybe that this area with her dad, like her dad's house, is a lot more fun and maybe more lively and more traditional, and her mom is kind of super caring and all this, but maybe not as picture perfect. And so then there's this idea that she should go and stay with them, and basically like Barbara Stanwyck character, like, it's basically like she's gonna move in with them, and the daughter goes there and finds that out, and she's older. She's like a, older teen, and she's like, I don't want to, like, I just want to be with my mom. And it's very, it's an impossible movie to describe, but it's a very, very kind of sweet. Like, I almost cried like twice.
Yep.
Barbara Stanwyck gives an incredible performance. I highly
Dude,
recommend.
it's an all-timer performance. It's insane what she's
Yeah,
doing. She's very eccentric throughout the movie, right? She's like wearing these weird outfits, and she's like getting bullied,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's a really sad scene. Of
The kids
like
are bullying
the
her.
kids'
Yeah.
friends are like making fun of her, and then kind of she overhears it, um, and then kind of goes into this, that causes her to be like, oh, this kid shouldn't be with me, like I'm just a mess, and I'm just like ruining life for her. And it's a sad thing where the daughter like eventually finds out that that's why she moved her to stay with her dad, and she's like, no, like that's not how I feel, like but it's just this sad thing where like I think Barbara Stanwyck's character feels like um, she can't do it all, or there's something about her that isn't right. That um, that this kid has to go on without her, and that's kind of like how the movie ends. And I'll put up a spoiler warning right now because I have to talk about the last scene. That is like, um, the daughter gets married in, is it like in their house or something? It's like in their house. And Barbara Stanwyck basically is invited to the wedding but doesn't like go, and instead she kind of like hides outside and watches through a window, and um is in this place where she's kind of given up her daughter and let her daughter go, um and just kind of like looks and waits for her to like her face after she kisses her groom, and they hug, and she like looks at her face and then just walks away, and then it's like the most, this is a performance where she's
Yep.
she's like crying and sad but also happy, and she's like, okay, like as long as she's happy, I'm happy, and it's this very sweet thing. um yeah, very hard movie to describe. I didn't do a great job, but I do recommend going and watching other King Vidor movies. I will say I want to watch. I'm actually planning to watch this movie again soon because I want to watch it again, and
Yeah.
I'm curious if my score goes up because it's definitely possible. Um, Great movie.
Yeah, I remember being heartbroken. I was like speechless at the end of it. I was like, holy shit, this movie. It's like so different to like stereotypical Hollywood movies back. It's a 30s movie, right? So
I believe
it's
so.
like
Yeah.
man, this is a movie in the 30s. Like, it just feels so
Hmm.
modern.
Especially because 30s movies are kind of famously more escapist because it's post Great Depression and usually don't have sad endings, which, you could paint this as a bittersweet ending, but it's definitely not like the happiest ending. um, yeah, so it is interesting. It definitely surprised me not having like maybe as much of a cookie cutter, happy ending.
Yeah.
All right, how's happiness?
Cool. Yeah, so I've watched Happiness. I have the criterion for it, so Luke forced me to watch it, which I'm very happy for. Um, no pun intended. I This movie is very it's crazy.
I know.
This movie's fucking crazy. There's some stuff that is going on that is like so weird and gross. It's like I explained this movie in my review. This movie feels like eating a wet sandwich. Like, that's what this movie feels like,
uh,
and it's just like it's like constantly uncomfortable. Philip Seymour Hoffman plays this guy who's like weird, like he's introverted and he knows he's ugly, but he's like addicted to sex, and he'll like call these people and like say like fuck you, you little whore, as he's like jerking off or whatever. And then like he just hangs up, but then like when a girl starts going for him, like he just can't deal with it. Like he doesn't know what to do, and then he has an it's cool. It's like doing like a Magnolia thing, which is funny because Philip Seymour Hoffman's in both of them. But it's like taking so I heard some things about this movie, Happiness. So it's an NC-17 movie. So it's rated NC-17, which if you don't know what that is, it's worse than rated R. So basically, like if an NC-17 movie's in the theaters, whereas a rated R, like you can go to the theater and if you have an adult with you, you can go in. NC-17, even if you have an adult with you, you can't go in. Like you have to be 17, basically. So it's like a more restricted movie. Not a lot of movies are NC-17. It's like a really interesting rating, which means it has to get graphic. And I was like expecting, I was like, man, what makes this movie NC-17? And then I quickly noticed like this movie has a lot of very sexual themes in it, um, especially with the father figure in the movie. Um, like his character is so fucked up. It's like maybe like one of the most fucked up characters, and he's the best actor in the movie, I would say. Like he's so good in this movie. He plays a character that you really don't like at all. Like he's very weird. And he's like a therapist. It's cool how I love movies with like all these different storylines because it like they meet each other in like different spots. Like they're somehow connected in these weird ways, but they're all don't know it. It's cool in that way. There's also like limitations that come with that. Like you don't see as much of the stories as you would like to. It's like kind of vignettes of like small moments where it's like okay, and sometimes the moments like linger too long of like one thing where like I was so into the father's story where I just like wanted to go back to that story and hear more. Um it I have to talk about his story the most because it's like the most interesting to me. So basically he's a pedophile and you find that out pretty early. Like he goes into like this gas station store and then he like picks up a kids magazine and jerks off in the room, and he also has like this, it's weird seeing the dynamic of that, and then he like comes home to his wife and children, and he mentions, I think it's mentioned that him and his wife haven't had sex in a long time, and that's also interesting because they seem like a picture perfect family. He seems like a good father, but there's also weird things that he does with this kid. He has a son and a daughter. The daughter's rarely in it, but the son's in it a lot, and he's like asking his son if he's like masturbated before or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like this weird ass dynamic of like what kind of father
Yeah.
says this shit. It's like so strange. Um and there's like little hints of stuff that happens where he's like, do you want me to show you how to do it or whatever? And it's like so weird. The movie ends bizarre bizarrely funny. Like it all comes to like a close. It's like a 6 minutes later thing. And then like the son does something, and then the dog licks the something, and then the dog licks the mom's mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on, bro? This shit is so weird. It's
Yeah.
like so crazy. Like the it's like constantly like shocking you with how weird it is. Um yeah, it's like very bleak. There's like no moment of like actual joy in it. It's like
Well, the
like these,
ending.
I don't know. The ending makes you like laugh but also like cringe at like I'm honestly, the coolest thing about this movie is like that it's made. That this is a movie. Like Todd Solondz is like so brave for like some shit he's doing here. Like he's doing a lot of like stuff that a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like this movie mostly because of the fathers
Yeah.
scene because they don't like
Oh,
that stuff.
it's very gross and
It's a it's
horrible.
a touchy subject, you know what I mean? It's horrible, but I think that's what makes this movie great. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's very strange for sure. It's really fucked up, and I'm glad I own it.
Yeah.
I own it, so I can watch it whenever. You know, if I'm ever having a bad day, just turn on
Oh
happiness. You
yeah.
know, like just feel a little joy.
Yep.
I actually think that it. I wish I liked it more. You know, I remember you telling me it's like seems like a movie I would like.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
think like Magnolia just does it cooler because it has like the sad element and then also has like this bizarre ending. And I have Magnolia out of 4, and I don't think Happiness like lives up to Magnolia, you know. So I just like I was like, okay, I like this movie a lot, but like I can't give it that 4 rating. You know, it's like a really high 3.5. Um, I enjoyed watching it. It's like keeps you constantly engaged, especially with like how sporadic it is because you're seeing all these stories, you know. And the girl from Twin Peaks is in there, and she's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's really pretty.
With Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's funny.
Yeah, that was a real. I that scene was strange because it was kind of like a letdown for me because I almost wanted them to like get together, like for like a one night stand, and then like he kind of goes in there. There's a that's like the coolest shot in the movie because she's wearing an all black outfit, and then she has an all black couch, and when she sits down her body disappears and all you can see is her floating head and her hands. I was like, that's a really fucking cool shot. I don't know if they meant it to be like that, but
Or that they
probably
did.
because
Yeah.
it looks sick. and then you just have Philip Seymour Hoffman awkwardly like reaching his hand across for like a really long time. She goes, I don't think this is gonna work. You're not my type, and he just leaves.
I,
It's like really
yeah,
funny.
yeah, it's definitely like uh, you want them to get together. Like a little part of you is like that would be funny if they actually like do this, but then I kind of love that they don't because it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, it fits the movie better. Like it wouldn't really fit the movie if they did. Um, but I would definitely be. I want to see a version of that scene where they like do. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
because it's like a really attractive woman who only goes for hot guys, and then you have like a really ugly guy that's like
Like
a
the
really weird
biggest
creep.
incel, like loser.
Oh my god, like
Like
what the fuck?
I kind
It's
of
funny his
love.
reaction. His reaction to him getting rejected is just going to the fat neighbor that he like
Right.
is really annoyed
Yeah,
with,
that's a whole thing.
and then like she's like a killer, which
Yeah.
is like she like has this whole confession moment, which is like really, and like his reaction is like, I don't know what to fucking do. He's like, we can still be she's like, we can still be friends, right? And he goes, sure, sure, we could be friends. And then he has sex with her that night. It's
Yeah.
like so strange.
It's
It's so
strange.
strange. The movie's so weird and takes all these like leaps and jumps or whatever, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a
that's
movie where like people have it rated 1 star, and I'm like, okay, fair, and people have it rated 5 stars, and I'm like, yeah, I could see that, fair, like you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's one of those movies.
Okay, what do you reckon me for this week?
All right, I have a very cool one. Like, think
Okay,
what you will. This is a really cool recommendation on just a recommendation level.
yeah,
This might be the best recommend. You know how I said like a man there was like on a recommendation level, like your best.
yeah.
This is my version of that, and I'll stand by it.
Okay.
It's one of the first movies I saw in film school actually. Um, it's My Zetterlings, The Girls, which is
Oh, okay. I saw you watch that, and you're like the only person I follow that has that, and then I added it to my watch list. But yeah, sick.
yeah, it has all of the star players. If you look at the cast, which means like all of Ingmar Bergman's, actors that he likes to
Is it
use.
a Swedish film?
Yes,
Oh, so I'm gonna love it,
I
basically.
mean that's
It's Scandinavian.
I started. I was like, oh, maybe I should do Scandinavian movie. Like, that's like an easy one. And then I was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is like a great movie as a recommendation because it's really like niche. Like it only has
yeah.
six
It's
point
super neat.
seven thousand logs, but um it's famous kind of because of My Zetterling. She's definitely very talked about. It was like a Swedish female filmmaker, which, in this movie came out in 1968. There's not a lot of female filmmakers in the world. Very, 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 very little. You could
Yeah,
like, and so it's always so. I love, it's so interesting watching like a female filmmaker from, the 20th century because they feel so their movies feel so different than all the movies you watch in that era because they're all made, all of the movies like generally are made by men, and then it's like, oh, this it just feels like such an outlier because it's such a uh different perspective. And it's really sad because every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, imagine if there was like way more female filmmakers because like they're always like so good. Like this movie is awesome,
they
and
are.
yeah, I would, if you're not familiar with the play Lysistrata, I would like look into it a little bit because I think it helps kind of understand the film. Yeah, it's a great movie. It goes into some like cool editing, like surrealist stuff. Um, yeah.
Cool. Sick.
What you got for
I
me?
have like three. I have three movies that I want to give you, but they're all like different vibes. So I'm trying to. They're gonna be my next three. So
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to figure out which one first.
Mm-hmm.
But because you gave me Happiness, and it's like a really fucking bleak movie, I'm
Uh,
gonna give you a bleak ass movie. It's actually the bleakest movie I've ever watched in my entire life. I
I
think
don't
it's like the
want it.
most fucked.
I don't want
It's
it.
the most fucked up shit. I'm giving you 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days.
Is that?
Have fun with that, bro.
I've heard of it. Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
in
don't want
the.
to watch this. Is it?
You're gonna love
Oh
it, bro.
god.
It's such good filmmaking, and it's Christian Mingu, and he has Fjord coming out later this year. This is
Oh
what made me
really?
love him. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
actually cool then.
I want you to get into his like style of filmmaking before Fjord comes
Yeah.
out.
Oh, I've seen one of his
Uh,
movies.
oh yeah, the
Yeah,
graduation, right?
Graduation.
Yeah. This is very different. Um,
That movie's
yeah,
also
so this is a
bleak.
movie. This is a movie that's really fucking crazy. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna give you any expectations. I think you know what the movie's about, though, right?
No.
Okay, great. Don't look into it.
Oh, I'm scared.
Um, it has to do with why the movie's called 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. So it's like that's yeah. It takes place in one day, I believe. It's like a 1 day movie. It's like
Okay, I kind of get. Okay, I
it's a
kind of.
Romanian film, and it like takes place in like Romania is like not like a, a great visual place to build a movie because it's like really desolate
Mm,
and the buildings are really ugly. They're all gray and it's always cloudy and the cars are ugly and the people are ugly and the fuck it's just like it's like an irky movie. But there's a scene in this movie, Luke. You'll know when it happens. That is so crazy. There's two. There's two I'm thinking about. One is like really fucked up, and one's like really well done,
mm-hmm.
sad with the plot. That's like more important, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Okay.
That's crazy. The movie's known for the fucked up scene.
Right.
Um, I'll talk about it next week. And I'll give you this. I'll give you this. The scene that you'll know that happens is real, and I'll give you that.
Oh God, I think I know. Like I have a feeling. Okay. Well, that's fun. Thanks.
So
I have a fun thing to look forward to. Thanks a lot. All right, let's end
yeah,
this
it's
episode.
gonna be fun for sure. So yeah, so this is our episode. If you stay this long, thank you. We appreciate you guys. We have some cool stuff planned out for the rest of the year. Me and Luke have been really loving doing this, and we've planned some cool stuff for the later this year. So thank you for like watching us, and if you're subscribed, leave a comment, all that stuff. Tell your friends or whatnot. We have fun doing this, and we're glad for the people that support for sure. So yeah, film's a great art, and we love talking about it. Um, so
True.
yeah, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Uh, yeah. Have a good day, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.